Christopher Nicholas Bertke is Pogo, an Australian electronic music producer and remix artist. He was born in South Africa, but he was raised and based primarily in Perth, Western Australia. His artistic identity became closely tied to the video remix culture on YouTube during the late 2000s and early 2010s. His music captured a sense of nostalgia and innocence, mixed with a sharply crafted techno style. While there were many channels like it and artists that manipulated samples and soundbytes to create music, none did it quite like Pogo. I myself was, and still am, a huge fan of his music. I felt like Pogo was able to capture a certain sense of nostalgia and innocence in his songs that no other artist before him could do. Pogo gained internet fame through a unique style of music production. He sampled sounds, dialogue, and musical phrases from films and television shows to create new compositions. His work was highly innovative at the time, combining nostalgic and emotional atmospheres with glitchy electronic textures. Some of his most popular remixes included Alice, which took Alice in Wonderland, the original animated movie, and transformed it into a catchy yet nostalgic song. Along with that, he did Upler, Bloom, Bangarang, and Toy Noise, among many others. Pogo dabbled in a lot of different kind of movies, particularly the Disney and Pixar films, which garnered a lot of attention and attraction, especially those who grew up watching those movies. Pogo's unique and viral approach earned him recognition not only with fans, but also for major film studios. He was eventually commissioned by Disney, Pixar, and other companies to create official remix content. He toured globally, including shows in the United States, South Africa, and Europe. This unfortunately led him to being arrested. The story goes that he did not have a permit here to work, let alone tour the country. Therefore, he was subsequently arrested in the early 2000s and wasn't allowed back in the United States until 2021. This event is often mischaracterized by tax fraud, which a lot of people thought he did, but this is inaccurate, as it was just the fact that he was working in the US without a proper visa. But unfortunately for Christopher, this would not be the only controversy he would find himself in. In 2015, a video surfaced showing Pogo making disparaging remarks about the LGBTQ community, referring to the Orlando nightclub shooting. The following is a clip from this video.
I've always had a very thorough dislike of homosexuals. Gays are just an abomination. It amazes me to see the West actually welcoming in a culture through the floodgates that once gays dead.
The video was titled "Why I Don't Like Gay People," where Pogo expressed his views that were widely condemned as homophobic. It wasn't long after that where Christopher issued an apology. After the backlash, he said he was sorry and made it clear that he has no hate towards that community at all, and that the video was satirical and meant to be a social experiment or parody designed to provoke discussion. He also cited his Asperger's syndrome and bipolar disorder as contributing factors to this claim. He stated that the video was made in bad taste and that he never intended for it to go public, although he also stated that he was trying to impersonate the far right and create hysteria, noting that the video was made around the time of the 2016 American election. And as with many of these things go, a lot of people unsubscribed and completely changed their opinion on him. He unfortunately lost many subscribers, and some of his videos were demonetized or completely removed from YouTube. He lost support from parts of his community and industry partners. Despite the controversy, Pogo continued to maintain his career in music. He continued to release music through platforms like Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. In 2020, he released his album Cultures, and in 2022, he released his album Cosmolux. But it was after this that he completely dropped off the face of the planet. Without warning or any kind of statement, Pogo seemingly left the internet for good. On his social media platforms, his last post on Instagram was on April 20th of 2022. When going over to his X profile, or formerly known as Twitter, his account is suspended. This has left many of his fans wondering where he went and what he's up to. chances are he's most likely just focusing on himself at this time, but maybe there's a chance he's working on some new music. But going back to some of the comments that he made back in 2015, I'd like to pose a question to you, the viewer. Can you separate the art from the artist? Oftentimes we see musicians, actors, actresses, and everyone in between say things outside of their art form, outside of their medium. And this is one of those cases. So the question is, can an audience member enjoy the art while tolerating some things that they may not have liked that the artist said? In the case of Christopher Bertke, I believe that his rant, if you want to call it that, was a massive lapse of judgment, and I still wonder why he decided to do that. Knowing that it would bring a lot of negative backlash and consequences, knowing that it's going to polarize your entire audience and nothing good can come out of this, I often wonder why these artists decide to do the things that they do. Perhaps there were other factors, as Pogo mentioned beforehand, but this was a complete and utter lapse of judgment that really polarized his fan base and really turned a lot of people against him. For me, I think that his music is probably some of the most profound and best sounding, best produced music out there. As bold of a statement as that may be, I feel like no one has really been able to capture the sort of magic, whimsicalness that Pogo has been able to do throughout his career in music. I know when I'm listening to a Pogo song, and I know his signature style that really makes him an incredible artist. In the off chance that you are listening to this, Christopher Bertke, I hope that you do return to music, and I hope you're doing well. I think with any kind of art form or any kind of artist, I really think it's best to let the work speak for itself, and in this case, it definitely stands. Are you a fan of Pogo? Have you been listening to Pogo? If you haven't, I highly recommend that you check out his stuff, even though, like I said, he's been inactive for quite some time. Maybe soon, or hopefully soon, we'll get to know what actually happened to Pogo. If you like this featurette, please let me know below so I can make more videos just like this, and please be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest videos just like this. All support is greatly appreciated.